Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we are going to be doing my October wrap up. I'm going to be running through my stats and letting you know what I rated my books very quickly. If you would like to know my full thoughts on any of these books, I do weekly reading vlogs, so you can go back and have a butcher's at those, but I don't tend to run through my thoughts in these wrap ups on the basis that I tend to read anything between like 10 and 25 books a month, and it's really hard for me to keep up with my thoughts on all of them throughout the month for me to be able to do a full wrap up, and the wrap ups end up being extremely long, and I just honestly really hate filming them. So I tried to make these, bring them down, make them as narrower as I can, make them as short as I can while giving you the information that you're looking for, but also making it easier on myself. So on that basis, let's get straight into the stats of what I read in the month of October. So I managed to read 17 books and nailed 4,820 pages. I had to double check then. 820 pages. In the month of October, I was in a huge fantasy slump in the month of October, so I had to improvise, which was real sad because all of my books in the month of October from Bookopoly were fantasy. So I failed at Bookopoly, which you know I took an extra roll for the month of November, so that was really sad. I don't think I read a single book off of my Bookopoly TBR in the month of November. I had to just massively improvise, which was a shame, but I enjoyed pretty much all of the books that I read in the month of October. I actually don't have a worst or least favourite, most disappointing book for the month of October, which is awesome news. So I had 4 5-star reads, I had 11 4-star reads, and I had 2 3-star reads. No 2 stars, no 1 stars, and as far as I can remember, I don't think I DNF'd anything in October. So let's very briefly go through what I rated each of my books, and then I will tell you what my favourite and most surprising book of the month were, seeing as I don't have a worst and most disappointing. So the first book that I read was Book Love by Debbie Tung, and I gave this 5 stars. This is a graphic novel about book lovers all around the world, and it's really good. I adored this so much. I really needed something that would perk me up because I was feeling devastated about the fact that I was in a slump, so this really helped me out, and I had a great time with this one. 5 stars, would highly recommend. Then I read Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, which I gave 4 stars. This is a thriller with a paranormal, supernatural-esque type touch to it. It's one of those where you're umming and ahhing about whether or not it is paranormal / supernatural-esque type, and I had a really good time with it. I flew through this in one day, so I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. Gave it 4 stars, would highly recommend. Then I read Verity by Colleen Hoover. I don't own a physical copy. I listened to it on audio and followed along with the Kindle version that I have, and I gave this one 4 stars. Honestly, I actually haven't been able to stop thinking about this book, and I think that it needs to be put up to 5 stars because I actually friggin' loved it. There were, I can't even remember the reason why now I only gave it 4 stars, because it was fantastic. The twist I didn't see coming at the end. It was just such a great book, and I highly recommend it. Maybe it was the triggers. Please, if you're going to pick this book up, be careful. Trigger warnings for child abuse. It's very graphic in nature, so just be careful of that. So yeah, it was fantastic though. I absolutely loved it, and honestly I think I'm going to bump my rating up to 5 stars because I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. It was really good. So yeah, 5 stars for Verity. Let's bump that up. I'm gonna have to change it on core pile, but yeah, 5 stars for Verity. Then I read Way of the Argosy by Sebastian de Castell. Thank you to the publishers for sending me a copy of this one, and for sending me an extra copy of it. I've still not done the giveaway because I entirely forgot that that was even a thing, so I need to go through and do that. But yeah, Way of the Argosy I gave 4 stars. This is the first in a new series by Sebastian de Castell, which is the prequel of the Spellslinger series. It's actually a duology. The second one is out now, Fall of the Argosy, as well, so I do need to pick that one up. But I gave this one 4 stars. It was really good. Then I read I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. I really wanted some like true crime podcast vibe type things, and this really gave it me. I gave it 4 stars. It was very interesting. In the reading vlog that I read this in, I was going on when I got to the end about the fact that the Golden State Killer hasn't been caught. He has now been caught. I still not looked into it. I need to get my facts straight before I start saying these things. He has since been caught. Many people have let me know in the comments, so thank you to those people who have. I really appreciate it. Thanks for correcting me on that, because I do need to check my facts before I say these things. But yeah, I believe he has since been caught, and I really want to look into it and get some more information on that, because I'm really interested about this case. It was fascinating. Do not read this in the dark, it's a little bit creepy. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, very interesting, gave it 4 stars. Then I read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and I gave this one 5 stars. This has got academic, romance, I don't want to say enemies to lovers vibes, but like maybe friends to lovers type vibes. Fake dating, absolutely loved it, fantastic, 5 stars. Just loved it. It was so good. Then I read The Girls Are Never Gone by Sarah Glenn Marsh. I gave this one 4 stars. The atmosphere in here was outstanding. This is a YA horror paranormal fantasy type book, and it was really good. It's got a podcast involved as well. Think along the lines of Sadie by Courtney Summers, but just not as heavy on the podcast. It was really interesting. Really enjoyed it. Gave it 4 stars. Would recommend if you enjoy your horror type books. Then I read Trick by Shay Saunders. This was a novella that I read for Smuttathon, and I gave this one 3 stars. I thought it was a really nice introduction into her writing style, which I haven't read before, and I will be interested in reading more from her. But then I also read Treat by Shay Saunders, which was another novella, and I gave this one 4 stars. I liked it much better, and I liked both. I really did enjoy both of these novellas, to be honest, and I will be interested in reading more from Shay in the future. Then I read Gothicana by Rue Nix, and I really enjoyed this one. This was dark academia, fantasy, romance-esque vibes, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the atmosphere. The atmosphere in this book was phenomenal. It was absolutely perfect. It was so good. I do think that the book became a little bit repetitive in some instances, and I do think that the ending wasn't as satisfying as I hoped it would be, but overall I did enjoy the book, and I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. The atmosphere was just everything. It was literally so perfect. I don't think I could have faulted the atmosphere at all. It was so good. Then I read The OK Witch by Emma Steinkellner. Oh my god, I think I finally got it right. I've been cocking that up for ages. This is a YA graphic novel, and it was so adorable. I really loved it. It was fantastic. I gave this one 4 stars. I'm so excited to continue on with this series because I believe there is a second one. So yeah, I really did enjoy this one, and I would recommend. Then I read The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. Is this the second book? Oh yeah, I hadn't even noticed I'd done that. The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, I gave this one 4 stars as well. I did feel that this kind of got a little bit slow in the middle, a little bit, but the last like chapter / 2 chapters, good lord. Well, the last chapter are definitely good lord, but the last couple of chapters was so intense. The atmosphere was pretty good on this one, and I really did enjoy it, so I gave this one 4 stars. Then I read The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which I also gave 4 stars. I feel like this series could have been condensed into 2 books. I don't think it needed to be 3 books long. And also then, I mean, I haven't read Box in the Woods yet, but I am looking forward to doing so. But as far as this specific series is concerned, because this kind of boxes it off from Ellingham Academy, and then I think Box in the Woods, ironically enough, Box in the Woods kind of goes off-piste a little bit. We're still following Stevie, but I don't think it's at Ellingham Academy anymore. But I feel like this Ellingham Academy segment of it could have been done in 2 books. I don't think it needed to be 3 books long, and I think it was quite stretched out, and it wasn't necessary. The general wrap-up of the storyline was great, but yeah, 4 stars. But overall, really do enjoy the Truly Devious series, and I would recommend. Then I read The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling, and I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. This is a fantasy romance featuring some witches, essentially, and a hex is put on a guy by accident, and 9 years later he comes back to sort out the ley lines in town, and the hex is causing problems all over town, and they need to team up and sort it out. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It definitely gave me like Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of vibes, but also this was kind of related in a sense. I think it's the small town vibes with Gilmore Girls, and I would agree with that also. But yeah, I did enjoy this one, and I gave it 4 stars. Then I read The Secrets of Camp Whatever by Chris Grine. I really loved this. I gave it 5 stars. It was fantastic. This is a middle grade graphic novel about being at a camp, and I just really enjoyed it. Disability rep in here. Our main character is deaf. And I just thought it was outstanding. I just thought the illustrations were beautiful. I thought that the story itself was just great, and I'm so excited to continue on with this series. I do hope the author does more in this series. This is new, it did come out this year, but I would recommend, especially for those of you that have enjoyed Lumberjanes previously, I would recommend it. It was very good. Then I read The Halloween Moon by Joseph Fink, and I gave this one 3 stars. This was good. It was a middle grade mystery horror-esque type book, and we're following a young girl who basically loves Halloween, and on Halloween evening all of the adults seem to disappear in her town and she wants to find out what's going on. So it was very interesting, but I feel like it lagged a little bit, which is silly because it's very short. I feel like it lagged a little bit in the last like 50 pages. It seemed to really slow down its pace, but overall I enjoyed it. It was good. And then the final book of the month was a reread, and I reread this every single year at Halloween. I have done, this will be like the 3rd year that I've read it, and it was Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. This is a graphic novel following 2 characters, Deja and Josiah, who basically work at a pumpkin patch. This is going to be their last year at the pumpkin patch, and Deja wants to make it their best yet. And yeah, it's really cute. I adore it. The fall vibes in here are just phenomenal. The illustrations are beautiful. Just everything is just perfect for Halloween. 5 stars every single time I read it. I just love it. I never get bored. So yeah, that's the last book that I read in the month of October. So for my favourite book of the month, it was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I really did love this one. I thought it was fantastic. I had such a good time with it. It was a lot of fun, very easy to get through. Just really enjoyed the characters and everything in here. I thought it was fantastic. But I also want to give out actually a shout out to Verity by Colleen Hoover, because obviously I've just upped my rating during this video, but I just cannot stop thinking about that book. It was phenomenal. It was so good. Very eerie, very atmospheric, very creepy, but so good. It really got under my skin. In fact, I've got shivers now just thinking about it. Such a good book. I would recommend, but obviously be wary of that trigger warning with the you know, child abuse. Just be careful of that. And then my most surprising book of the month was definitely The Secrets of Camp Whatever by Chris Grine. I was not expecting this to be one of my most favourite books of the month. It was just fantastic. I loved it so much. I picked this up on a whim. I was looking for something that would be easy to get through, that was set in a camp, for one of the prompts for Camp Weekend Ween. Camp Whatever came up, and I was like, cool, let's get a copy and see what it's like. Turned out it's probably one of my favourite middle grade graphic novels I've ever read. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. So wholesome and just adorable. I loved it so much. I would highly recommend. So yeah, that's everything I read in the month of October, with all of my ratings and my favourite and most surprising book. Like I say, I didn't really have a worst or most disappointing book, because none of them particularly let me down and none of them were bad. So yeah, I had an awesome reading month. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these, or if you've got any recommendations for me based off of these, and I shall hopefully see you in the next one. Bye for now.